This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome to the From Pain to Purpose radio show. I'm your host, Eva Fulton. In this show, we explore the incredible journeys of resilience, healing, and transformation. In each episode, we will sit down with individuals who have faced unimaginable struggles and turned their pain into power, heartbreak into hope, and their challenges into meaningful change and finding new purpose in life. Through candid conversations and inspiring stories, we will uncover how pain, whether emotional, physical, mental, or spiritual, can be the catalyst for profound growth and a deeper sense of purpose. So if you are looking for motivation, insight, and real stories of triumph over adversity, you're in the right place. Let's get started on this journey from pain to purpose. Let's give veterans a voice through Military Broadcast Talk. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Saturday, September 6th, the year of our Lord 2025. I'm going to do a quick shout out to my brother, Jason. Happy birthday, Jason. Yay. He's my little brother, lives in the Denver area. And just want to give a good shout out to you, Jason. I love you, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Man, it's been beautiful out here in the East Coast. I spent the morning on the National Mall with a good buddy, veteran friend of mine. He's a West Pointer, Gerald Bennett, and we were able to, on really kind of some short notice, but we were able to collaborate with some of our military connections and get the Howard University Color Guard to present the colors on the National Mall for the HUD Innovative Housing Showcase. And there's a great event going on tonight. So if you're in the local DMV area, there is a concert out there on the National Mall. So please head on out there. I already have plans. I can't go, but I understand that it is going to be a fantastic event. So I'm really honored that I got to help participate in an American 250 celebration. And, you know, it's always invigorating to see the things that we can do when we all pull our minds together and can accomplish great things. So took a week off, you know, last week and hiked over 26 miles on the Appalachian Trail. So for those of you who may not think that that's anything, it was not too long ago, just a few years ago. I was actually, you know, using one of those, I call it the Ferrari rollators from the VA to get around. So for me to be able to go from using a roller, you know, a walker to get around to be able to hike on the Appalachian Trail has just been a huge victory for me. And, you know, really, folks, it's one foot in front of the other. This is Suicide Prevention Month, September. And, you know, I get lots of green therapy out there. So I encourage anybody, if you are experiencing any kind of challenges, get out there in the fresh air and take a few steps. You would be surprised at just what a grounding feeling it is to smell fresh air and hear the birds and the locusts and all those wonderful sounds that are out there in the forest. Going out on the beach, wherever you can get some nature and fresh air that is not on the confines of the Wi-Fi in the house and everything else. So anyways, I am really excited about my guest tonight. So he's another Army veteran, and I'm excited to have William Stevens on. So he likes to, I swear he ought to be a podcaster on with us, be a host on here, because he definitely understands giving the voice of the voiceless is his mission and brand, and giving a platform to those who feel unheard. He uses his books, his podcasts, and his story as a retired U.S. Army Sergeant First Class. He's a 2-time award-winning author, 2025 Eric Hoffer Award nominee, and he just speaks the real raw truth about trauma, resilience, and survival, turning pain into purpose and making sure no one feels alone. So without further ado.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, William, how are you?
Hello, and thank you for all the veterans, everyone past, present, and served. Your story that you talked about going from a walker and going out there and hiking. I don't think I'm hiking 26 miles, but appreciate that. And NPR, thank you for having me as a guest.
Awesome. Yeah, military broadcast radio, our motto is giving every veteran a voice. So
MBR, I'm sorry.
Yeah, MBR.
MBR.
It's okay. That giving every veteran a voice. It's a great fit with what your platform is about. So let's get started. You have 3 books, and we're going to get to those books farther, a bit later. But how did you know that you needed to start writing anything?
Pain. After my father died in 2017, I had a lot going on. I was married in 2006, and when I got out of Walter Reed in 2008, from 2008 all the way to 2014 as like a non-intimate marriage, and with me calling my daughter, actually being mentally abusive to my daughter and my wife because I was so drugged up on lithium and Prozac, and I was like on 10 different bottles of meds. So I was kind of like a zombie at home, but I think I needed to. So The Mirror is a therapeutic book. I have been writing since I was 19 years old, like on guard duty, little pieces of paper, deployments, my 5 deployments, writing. You and I converse about Desert Shield, Desert Storm. So Desert Shield, Desert Storm, the war was 96 hours. So I actually wrote a big piece in my first book called 96 Hours, where I got like built my credibility on the battlefield as a private. So pretty good. Everything's all relationship based and little things that happened to me, little dreams and visions I had. So when my dad died, I already had a manuscript, but I did not consider myself as an author or anything because my last assignment was in New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, where I live now. I was part of a combat arms assessment team where 5 of us deployed into Iraq with no weapons. So we went with some candy Cameron dudes and deployed to Kuwait, where we were the laughing stock because we didn't have weapons. We had sunglasses and walkie-talkies. That was what our MTEL, our mission essential task list, required us to have. So we trained units at Fort Dix for Iraq and Afghanistan, and we fell on some units. And they were like, we were their VIPs, and they escorted us around, and we collected classified data, and we wrote a handbook for the Center of Army Lessons Learned out of Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, which they declassified and made it unclassified material. So it's Manual 0602, Security Forces Handbook, which is in 2006, it was the most sold out publication in the Army. So then I take you to 2017, and I'm like, ooh, I'm already a contributing author in a book that no one's really seeing. So long story short, probably 2018, I got with Book Venture. I highly not say they're not even around no more, but published my first book, The Mirror. And then it was dormant for a while because like my publication team like fell off the planet.
Right.
Yeah, so you know how that goes. Took all my royalties. So when that book dropped in 2018, it was I'm not gonna say it's the bestseller, but it sold out 3 weeks in a row. So I don't think they could keep up with printing. So and then it was dormant for a couple years, and then in 2014, no, in 2024, I started writing The Broken Mirror, and then that was published on Halloween last year, and that became a 2-time award winning for International Impact Book Award, and then Eric Hoffer nominated. Like, I'll take the nomination, even though I didn't win an award for it. Just to be nominated for Eric Hoffer is like huge. So anybody that's out there, I don't even know how much stuff got nominated. Like, I think I got nominated because my books got reviewed by the U.S. Book Review.
Okay.
And then also what's special about my 2 books, I was telling you, the stuff that I talked about in my last 2 books, the Pentagon Review Board had to review it and approve it. Plus, having a very high security clearance, you're only allowed to say certain things.
Right.
And because I worked for the military for 20 years and the civilian government for 16 years with that TS and above higher clearance that some people don't talk about. But I learned one thing: no names of organizations, and no locations. That'll keep the lawyers away. When you write books about that type of information, especially. But I did call out the VA on the long-term medication use for veterans. It's destroying us. People think, oh, this medication's helping me right now, but down the road, it's destroying your kidneys and your liver, and you have like all
your
cognitive brain function, everything, irritable bowel. So I proved the VA wrong, and that's how I got my 100%, because like I have tremors in this left hand right here, which slowly I'm beating with the green stuff that you talk about, you know, like going out, riding my electric bike, doing things, not sitting in the room and staying compelled, or staying in your house compelled. You know, I do my morning message every morning to get you out of bed, get you motivated, live another day, you know, because even though we have our demons, we can use, my thing is mental health is a life sentence without parole. And people are like, how does he know about, what are they? Coping mechanisms. We use coping mechanisms to forget the demons, but the demons will never go away. So, and now I'm working with No Filter, from skateboard kid to entrepreneur. And to be an entrepreneur, you don't have to be rich. It's the global platform that I built. So 1821 Productions, my shield, is the platform that all 3 books and my mission that I've done for the last year out on the road in my RV. You want to find people with pain? The campgrounds are where the people are.
Right.
All these campgrounds around the United States. Never been up to Canada, but all the Canadians come down, the snowbirds. There's so many people out there, so many veterans out there that live in their RVs. I mean, I recommend it, but some of these campgrounds are as much as the mortgage monthly.
Oh,
like
for
they're
sure.
They're catching on, and then it depends. I have a Class A, so it's a drivable vehicle, and maintenance is your biggest thing when you're out on the road. So and I didn't have a vehicle, so I was like electric bike riding around and Ubering it to places, and I would sit down with veterans and have dinner and Thanksgiving dinner with them, and I have challenge coins that I made. So everything I have, I don't get no royalties for. Like I make everything out of my disability in my retirement. So I have challenge coins.
Uh-huh.
I made 200 of those. I've probably given out 10. So if you inspire me, I'll give you a coin. So I do more inspiring and people inspiring me. And I bought more books. I probably bought 100 books of my second book and given them out on the road.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what's really meaningful is when you sign the book in front of them,
Yep.
and they're like just memorized, you know, or
Oh, yeah.
captivated. No, but yeah.
Yep.
So,
No, I
that's
totally get it.
That's the journey right now. So, but now I'm working on No Filter, which I'll tell you a couple titles: The Abuse, Toxic Marriage, Career Killers, Still Effing Here, Still Standing. My daughter Isabel, who I've been building this broken bond with. Because when you say that stuff to children, they remember it all the way. Even if
Yeah.
you gift them with all kinds of gifts and stuff, there's still this thing that they have
They
against
remember.
you.
They remember.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
what makes this book so compelling is my daughter wrote the first entry after the copyright about what she thought of her dad back then to
Yeah.
what she thinks of me now. And me being a big, strong, bad dude I am, it brought me to tears. Like I couldn't even, like, she's like, don't put it in ChatGPT and try to change it or anything. And I'm like, why would I? I'm like, maybe edit it or something. But she's like, smarter than that. These Gen Zs, man, they already have it already done. So she said, I said, I only wanted a paragraph. She sent me like a whole 2 pages, and I'm blown away that when I didn't know that she was so, it meant the world to her that I taught her how to drive.
Right.
Like I was with her day and night when I had the Jeep and driving, letting her drive, like when she was 14, 15. And I went to the driver's test with her, and, you know, and I walked her through everything. And she's like, something that my mom couldn't do. You know, moms and daughters have a bond, but daddies and daughters have a different bond. So
For sure.
and
Yeah.
and I
For
think
sure.
the thing why she doesn't read my books is because I said in my first book that I wanted a boy, because my dad treated me so bad. Like
Uh-huh.
I wanted to teach a boy sports, you know, sports that I was not taught. You know, I was always, I don't want to say the F word, but I was the MF in my house. I was a creep or a bum, and toxic childhood just made me think, man, if I ever have, and it's weird because my ex-wife had a miscarriage, and that was a boy in 2005. So Isabel was born in 2007, so we had a girl, and she proved me wrong. She's a 2-time world champ, competitive cheer. She got that when she was 13, got her second world champ when she was 16. Now she's a competitive cheer coach. She's
Wow.
like proving everybody wrong. Like, you know, she's proving everybody wrong. She has millions of followers on TikTok. She won't let her mom and dad even follow her and stuff. So hey,
I think that's the generation thing. My kids, they were like, "Don't get on TikTok, mom. Don't, you know."
We
I'm
do
like,
what we do
okay.
for our children. So
Yeah.
and if anybody buys my books or anything, those royalties go to my kids. So they
Okay.
go to a private account in case I'm no longer here. So
Well, we're going to go to Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Apparently, my producer is saying play the commercial. So we're going to go to Copy Anderson, Mr. Red, White, and Blue.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California. Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on these front lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Let's see if I can get this to play. I oopsed and didn't play it well ago when you came on. So
Everyone has a story. Everyone has been through something that has changed them. So, never judge a person by the chapter you walked in on. Everyone has a story.
how true. Everyone's got a story. I know
Kofi-
that
Is Kofi a veteran?
I think actually he's not, but he does support a lot of our productions. We also have There Is No Hero Without Her, which was another song that he wrote and shared with us when it first launched, dedicated to the women veterans, you know. So he's been very, very supportive of MBR. And I'm pretty sure he's in the Dallas Fort Worth area. I think I got to see him. I took my kids to a concert in Dallas several years ago, and he was the opening act. Little did I know that that's who that was. When I, it's like, wow,
He got good voice. He got good voice.
he's got lungs, doesn't he?
Well, I was going to say pipes. Some people don't
Pipes.
understand
That works too.
That's our era. Pipes. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm curious. How does the skateboard thing come into play? Because I saw that in your, kind of in your, it's not so much your bio, but it's part of who you identify with. So how does skateboard come into play in your story?
I skated since I was 7 to age 15.
Uh-huh.
To escape the hell that was going through with my dad beating my mother up and calling me names, I escaped in my skateboard because I was in a family where we didn't have a car.
Right.
So I linked up with a bunch of my friends that were skaters. So we used to terrorize the town of Carlisle, go up to Dickinson College and skate and jump and do all kinds of stuff. And now when I go home, there's signs everywhere that says no skateboarding. Like it's all different these days. Like they don't allow you to skate nowhere. Now you got to go to like a park. Like I was a true street skater, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, skating was my escape. Music, alternative music and the 80s music and skateboarding was my escape. So,
Okay.
and then what really was the knocker was my sister upstairs in her room listening to Kiss or the song Sticks by Mr. Roboto.
Right.
Double Gutty Gutty sounding like a dead cow. Like I had to escape that. Like listening to my sister trying to sing. I wrote that in my second book. Like there were times where I would sit in my bedroom and listen to my sister like moo. Like, okay. Wish I had a phone I could record that back then. That would definitely make a TikTok. But oh, you want to hear something else? Like I would pretend. Remember Tears for Fears?
Oh yes, I love Tears for Fears.
So I used to think that I was Kurt Smith. I would jump up on my bed with a broomstick and
Yeah.
listen to Tears for Fears, and everybody wants to rule the world or shout, and I would, yeah. So
Shout, shout,
yep,
let
yep.
it all
So
out.
yeah, that was me. So, but yeah,
That's funny
skateboarding.
you mentioned
I
that.
thought I thought it would be a catchy title, like, and I'm trying to reach out to the skaters because, like, the skater community, even though it's got parental advisory on it, these kids these days are swearing and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like they're growing up with it, with their parents, treat them like absolute garbage. So I've actually interacted with some of the skaters that are in their 50s now, and said that's how they are pro skaters now, or skaters still,
Uh-huh.
because of toxic marriages and stuff. They don't want to be like calling their kids names or doing stuff to their wife. They just get the skateboard and go to the skate park at 50 years old. And I'm like, hey, he's still skating at 50. Holy crap, man.
Wow, that's pretty good physical stamina to do that. To me, that's a whole different kind of level thing than it is me hiking on the trail, but
What's crazy is like Tony Hawk. Remember
yeah,
Tony Hawk?
yeah,
He's still skating. His son
right.
is skating. Steve Caballero, he's still skating. All these guys from when I was a little kid that were like adults to me that are now grandfather, like it was funny because like they're in their 60s or in some of them are in their 70s, like Hoshoy or whatever. These guys are still skating. Like it's an everyday thing to them. And me, I'm like, I wasn't a trick guy. I was just a skater dude. Like we just terrorized. That's the way it was.
They
So
were your wheels. Yeah, they were your
that was
wheels.
my. So what's funny is I'll just tell you something that's probably blow you away. In high school at prom, didn't have a car, so I didn't know how I was going to get to prom. And my buddies were like, "Yo, we'll come by and pick you up." And because they called me names in school, because like in my new book, the bullying, the name calling, I couldn't get a date, so I got a date from another school. Her name was Tammy Weber. She was a cheerleader from the school. Very hot. She's probably the best date at the whole prom. And they're like, how's this guy with the stuck up hair and all that going? But they said they were going to get me a limo, right? So I was expecting a limo, and these guys took like 8 shopping carts, painted it like black, put it out in front of my house, and was like, yo, your limo's out front. But the limo was like down the street. So I went out because I was gonna go pick her up, and I went outside, and in the front of my house, there's these shopping carts that are all like cardboard, black, mocked up. I'm like, this is not funny, man. I had to like get on the dial phone and be like, this is not funny, man. Like, this is not funny. So, and the limo came by and picked me up. These guys all helped me, got me the limo, and we went to Tammy's house and picked her up. And yeah, like back then, like I don't think anyone drove. Nobody drove to school. So
Oh, I did.
uh,
I lived
yeah,
out
so
in south of town, and yeah, I drove. I had a CJ5 with no top on my senior year.
I don't
That was
know.
cold.
I think I
It
was
was
the
cold.
only kid in school that didn't have a car. Like when they're all parking at the football game, I'd roll up looking like what's his name, Michael J. Fox on the skateboard.
But I didn't have a date to the prom, junior or senior prom. No date.
I was lucky to get a date
I was the
because I don't
wallflower.
want to be like 16 candles standing against the wall and stuff.
Yeah.
No, forget that. So, but yeah, those days are
So
over. So
did you find writing was cathartic for you? Did it help you process, I guess, any of the PTS or anything that you had? Did it help you be able to work through things?
I started mid career in the military. It started to come out real bad. Like I used to punch walls until my knuckles bled when I was a staff sergeant, and I would go and clean myself up and make myself look all professional and show up like I didn't have anything going on. But um, that writing was just writing, I guess. Like I don't really remember that. It's been so long. But now I do audio monologues. So I talk to my phone.
Right.
The second book I did not write. I just sat down on May 4th, 2024, looked at my phone and figured out there was a note thing there. Not like AI, just, hey, you could put notes. But I didn't know that you could hit the little speaker thing and talk to it. So I would walk around my house and talk to my phone and the words would come out. So instead of sitting down and making chapters, I did entries.
Right.
So I have like an AI entry, death and dying, um, government. I have my second half. Like I would just like be cleaning and talk to my phone, and then I would go back and look at it, and it was so cool that in that you could have it play back. And when I ran it by the guy who edited it, and he actually did a story on me in 2008 when I retired. He was a writer for the Gettysburg Battlefield, so his editing was like superb. When you
Right.
start writing for Battlefield, your stuff's got to be like so. And he's
Right.
like I'm saying now, like and were my two biggest things. He's like, dude, you have 5 million likes in your book. We gotta get rid of those. And he's like
Yeah.
70. He's 75, and he was saying it was the hardest project he's ever done.
The
So
hardest?
the hardest because
Be-
it just because I didn't write it, I spoke it. So when you speak it and you write, it's different. It's the
Correct.
way you speak. Yeah. So because a
Yeah.
couple people have read my book and said, "Man, I feel like I don't know you, but it feels like I'm sitting right there. You're telling me the story."
Right.
And that's what's realistic and raw about the second book. The first book is therapeutic poetry, so you get what you get out of it. You get your ups and downs, but I
Yeah.
made sure that it flowed so it wouldn't lose anybody. But from page one of the Broken Mirror, you're like just lured. Uh, the new book, it's a whole different style after receiving an award and all this and interacting with the veteran community and doing podcasting and being on the road. My whole writing is so different now. Like even though I can't write, I spoke to my phone and my tablet and did everything. And I won't lie, I ran it through ChatGPT to make sure that it was edited, you
Right.
know? Because when this girl that I've been hanging out with, like online, she's a 2-time award winning author. She writes about grief and pain and we collaborate. So I inspired her, like I was telling you about power. I inspired her to get on a podcast for grief, Hope with Johanna, and she's actually said in her podcast that people inspire her to step out of that shell and talk about all her. Like she has like 7 or 8 family members that are all dead. All her brothers and sisters are all died. So like she has come out of her shell. So she helped edit, and she has like all the stuff on her computer and all that, like where it'll just run through and go, this is not correct English or grammar and
Right.
change it all. And and I even ran it through chat, and I'm just telling you, AI is fake as it can be because AI is going to do what it wants to do. You can
Yep.
recommend it, but it's always going to change and recommend unless you tell AI, edit this with no AI. Because, like, I'll just tell you the cover of No Filter that you have, it says no, it says N with the, what's it called? The parent advisory with the O and then
yeah.
filter. Yeah, well, I went and ran it through chat for like centering and making sure the dimensions would fit online and all that. And I go and look at it and I see the word no. Like it took the logo thing off and put it beside the O. So it was like NOO filter. And one of my friends reached out and said, "You didn't publish that book yet, did you?" I was like, "No, why?" And they're like, "You're running all these advertisements and it says no with a circle advisory filter. Like, you not catch that? And you're like the guy that like is analyzing everything and people when they walk around and all this, and you didn't catch that?" And I went back and looked at the cover and I'm like, "Oh my God, dude."
Oh,
Thank God they
yeah.
caught that. Because like I wanted to make it look different, I wanted to like pop. Because the word no, you'd be like, "Oh no." Okay. But no with the circle parent advisory in it makes it pop. So, and the reason why the cover is black and white is because I lived in this dark world. And
Yeah.
then the back of the book is in color. That's the only page in the whole book that's color. The orange QR code and my actual cover picture where I'm like this. So took that picture when I was in Phoenix, Arizona. Funny, I
That
was
was
sitting there
kind of a neat
waiting.
looking picture, by the way. I'm just letting
Oh,
you
but
know that was.
I will tell you one thing that's strange. The actual photo, I'll send it to you. You can compare them, the color one. So when I was in Phoenix at the award ceremony, a veteran gave me a bracelet
Uh-huh.
and it had like all the military things on it.
Right.
But I gave it away at the airport because I met his name is Joel. He's the guy that was in Iraq that got burned up severely. You know what I'm talking about? He's the guy, he was one of the first injured that stepped on a IED or something. He's very,
Uh,
very famous, and I saw him
okay. I
walking through
think I
the
know who you're
airport.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he's triple amputee, blind, burned up, scarred. And I saw him walking in the airport, and I gave him the bracelet. I sat down with him for like 5 hours before he flew because, like, the TSA agent, I'm like, "You need to go away. I'll sit here with him." And I gave him
Yeah.
the bracelet, and he absolutely loved it. But what I was going to say was I ran it through to analyze, and like my bracelet I have on here right now, when I looked at the black and white image, chat made it the voice of the voiceless on the image.
Oh, wow.
And then the army bracelet that I had, because it was Celtic, changed all the army logos to like Celtic crosses and logos. And if you look at that, you'll see. Because my buddy's like, "Dude, when did you get a when are you why you get when did you start handing out voice to the voiceless bracelets?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You got one on," and it even took off my 22 a day bracelet. Like it deleted that, and
Wow.
it made everything like voice of the voiceless. You are enough, and I'm like, how did it do that? So I
Wow.
left that. I left that because I thought that was cool. Because like I
Yeah.
had to annotate in the with it, Amazon, that chat did a little AI thing for it.
Right.
But it's the original picture. I was sitting in my hotel room before I was going to speak, and my daughter called me on the phone. Was like, "Dad, tonight's the night, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is." She's like, "I get $50." I'm like, "What? Get ready to go on stage and you call me for $50? Like, you should be sending me $50, kid."
Yeah, right.
Like,
Well,
wow.
let's pop this QR code up. You want to talk about the QR code? What is this?
So this is books.buy. Books Buy. It's a platform other than Amazon. Authors can go on there and pay $99 a year. And it's really cool because it's not like Amazon where you can just like put the words in the write up. This, you can change the color and everything. And you can go on Chat GPT and create from the link and make a QR code. So I made a QR code to my 3 books. Now, my new book, I have not dropped it until Halloween, but I had it out for a couple days. So now I have the mirror, the broken mirror, and no filter at the bottom, and it will spotlight my first book, the write up, and then it will summarize the other two. But Amazon won't do that. You have to pay for that advertisement on Amazon. So I
Mhm.
did this because I'm starting to talk to people with QR codes like you have down here in your lower right hand corner for MBR. You
Right.
use a QR code. QR codes are like the coolest thing that's going on right now. Instead of writing a whole bunch of verbiage and people are lost, they just scan the QR code and that takes you to my 3 books, and you can see what books it talks about each book, and then it captivates you. So, but yeah,
That's cool. I went ahead and dropped all of your social media in the chat as well. So if anybody's wanting to reach out and connect with you, because you do get on other people's podcasts and stuff as well.
I'm out there.
So,
I'm out there. Believe me.
yeah, you're out there. Um, I
But I
so
will. Can I say one thing? If it
sure.
was not for like Travis and Brian, Marine Corps veterans, and I mean, let's say Mark Patterson, these guys that have these amazing podcasts, Triple Threat Vet, all these guys, it would not have inspired me to get out there and speak to other veterans and be on social media and then also create my podcast, Crawl, Walk, Run, Coach Keith Mentor. Right now, I'm dormant. I'm doing other things, working on my book. I don't have time to work on my book and work on a podcast. So, like, I got a podcast here with you today. I got a not podcast on Tuesday. And then I got an X podcast where I'm on X now. This guy's got like 40,000 viewers or followers. And he wants me to talk about mental health and PTSD and book writing and all that. Because I'm also an advocate for authors. So I have the Blacklist on Facebook, the group where we call out fake marketing companies, fake marketers from like Nigeria and Pakistan.
Right.
Like they shut me down because like I was calling people out and shutting them down. So I had to prove to Meta that I wasn't like discriminating. So
Right.
I actually had to reach out to Meta. Like they would send me a link, I would send them a link, and we would connect. I'm like, you can leave pedophilia and OnlyFans and these girls promoting all this stuff and child trafficking and all this stuff and these horrible videos. But I call out authors and fake marketers, and you want to remove me entirely from the internet, from social
Right.
media.
Right.
I'm like, that's not fair. 2 minutes later, my stuff was up and running. I have special rules on the Blacklist. I also have story time with Steve-O, where there are people out there that are struggling that can't read. And
Yeah.
a true author will read to their people.
Yeah.
So I read from all my books, Storytime with Steve-O. And Steve-O comes from the credibility of Stephen Stevens or William or Sergeant First Class. My peers would call me Steve-O. So,
Okay.
and then I have Cooking with Steve-O. That's mental health where people will cook and forget their demons and
Yeah.
post food and stuff. So I learned as an author, you got to build the platform first because you
Right.
can't put your book on Amazon and sell it unless you're on a platform. If you're not talking about the platform, so if I'm talking about children's books and try to sell a mental health book, it ain't happening. So I
Right.
built 1821 production, Voiceless from scratch. This here is trademarked to the T. It was very expensive. Trademarks are very expensive. And then you also got to go back with the lawyers because people are trying to make money off this. So I've had people donate money to me and I turned it down. I don't want your money. All I want you to do is buy the book and get the message out or go on and scan the QR code and read and post it somewhere else. If you post my stuff, that means the message is getting out there. So I do
Right.
have 1821productions.com, which it only shows the front page. We had that up for a couple weeks and it got 10,000 views. So
Wow.
I'm not with Elite Scribes no more because they want to charge me like $600 a year for like, it's called domain and maintenance. So I created 1821breakdown.com, but I haven't updated it lately. But it talks about my mission statement. It talks about what I do for veterans. I posted some videos while I was out on the road, giving veteran private kids that get thrown out for mental health and stuff, giving them challenge coins and stuff like that. So my message is real. Like I said, my new book, No Filter, there is no filter here. Like I'm very raw. Like I was explaining to you, my morning message on Facebook, 1821 Productions, Voices on Facebook. I'm very vocal. I swear, I don't care if I offend Karen or whatever, but I've had people from YouTube go, man, if you didn't swear, more people would follow you. Well, you have the military community that don't want somebody that's woke individual that's sitting there and being
Right.
like, thank you, please follow me. I'm nothing. I'm no
Yeah.
filter. I've been on veteran podcasts where these Marine Corps guys are swearing all the time, and I'm just very professional. And like I told you, I'm not going to swear. I don't want to destroy my credibility, but like when I do my morning message, I'm not wearing my brand to tarnish me,
Right.
But
But you still have to be real too,
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and so I'm real as it can be. And then, like I said, I started strawberries versus watermelon. It's like a live, so no one comes on. All I do is pre-record and push it out. I'm getting like 100 people viewing it. No one will join my community. Probably think I'm like kind of weird having strawberries and watermelons and mental health, but I ran it through chat and it made a really cool like write up on why strawberries are important compared to watermelons. But I like strawberries and I like watermelon. And I saw somebody post that said, what do you prefer, strawberries or watermelon? And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna make that into a live podcast.
It depends upon my mood.
Yeah. So, and like you were saying in the beginning, I would love to be part of your team. You could talk to your people and see. I'll watch more videos. I'm just trying to get on a platform where that people can hear and understand that there are veterans out there that will support other veterans, because authors and people like you are the unheard voices of the people that can't speak. Like we're the voice of the unheard. That's what I was trying to say.
Right.
And me saying I'm the voice of the voiceless, I truly mean that. There are other voices of the voiceless that are like wrestlers or whatever, but I'm in the grit. I'm out on the road, in the trenches, in the rain, talking to veterans. I was just down in the homeless community in Harrisburg. They're getting ready to plow that whole thing at the end of September. I had sundry kits and sleeping bag covers. I went down there. I talked to it. First, I saw an American flag as soon as I got there. It was like tilting, very symbolic. Took a picture of it, got many views just for the flag. And I talked to this guy, and he came out. He's had like 4 different MOSs, and he said he will stand his ground when that bulldozer comes because that's his home. Because nobody wants to help him in the community. Now they want to move all these homeless people, and there's a bunch of veterans in there that I found, into an empty parking lot. And I'm like, what is the community doing to these people? Like, here's my only thing that I will say about what's going on in our administration, because I don't vote and I don't talk about politics, but where did the Doge money go? DOGE, where did that money go? That the much money they took back from all these organizations, we could have solved homelessness and mental health. And all the money that got sent over to other countries, we need to take care of our country and our veterans, and the VA system definitely needs to be revamped. So.
Well, hopefully they will be able to connect them to the VA resources and get them connected in with the VASH program. And, the VA has per diem program too. It's not just the VASH on the permanent side from HUD.
Oh, yeah.
There is the per diem program that can help them get the temporary housing so they can get the other care that they need before they transition and just are in an apartment with 4 walls.
So we do have a place here in Harrisburg called the Tiny Village. Have you heard of that?
Not in that particular location, but there are different places around the country that can help transition veterans and help them.
So this place only has 20 slots. So there's so many homeless veterans that are on the list, because I think the Tiny Village, it's 1 year. It's a 1 year rotation, and you always have care and all that, and people, advisors and volunteers that try to bring these people from where they are,
workers
and bring them back into the community. And it's great that they're doing this, but my thing is
there's not enough of it, really. There's not enough of it. And for every person that you're like losing or that is graduating, you have two people that are waiting in the queue to fill that one slot because it's just the economy of things. It is
If
tough.
I won the lottery or I was a millionaire, I would go and buy up all these schools because all these schools that are sitting dormant, they should
Yeah.
open these up for the veterans and homeless people in the winter and then spend money to bring people in to treat them or help them. I mean, give them rules. If you violate the rule, you're gone. But
The malls,
like
the malls would be a great option as well.
all the abandoned malls, like they're going to
Yeah.
spend all this money to tear the mall down and then spend money to build something new that's going to take years to build.
Yeah.
And you have these people that have no home, veterans that have no home, can't get into the hub system or can't get into whatever homeless thing that they have for veterans because there's too many slots and too many people. Like, open these schools up, man. I mean, like, at least try to give them some kind of shelter, at least for the winter. And uh, I went to that place and saw that they're taking scraps off trains, supplies, and building like these huts. Like, I thought the people in Iraq, when we were going through uh, trash,
Yeah.
people were living in trash in Iraq.
Right.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
were looking for the enemy because they were hiding in the trash with the women and children. Like,
Well, the Bedouins were doing that in Saudi when we were
Bedouins.
there
Yep.
during Desert Storm.
Yep.
The Bedouins did that too. And
Yep.
I don't know honestly how, because it not only got cold out there and it did rain. A lot of people don't think it rains in Saudi, but it does. But it gets really, really cold out there as well. And those
I
sandstorms
think
are no joke.
I think the only reason we're on guard duty is to keep Beto and Bob away. Seriously. Because I
Yeah.
don't think anyone from another unit is going to come over and steal our stuff. Like in
Right.
Korea. In Korea, we had to, what was they called? Something boy. I don't know what it is. Korean boy. And little boys would come around and steal all the equipment off your vehicles,
Oh,
and sell it in the black market. Like we had to
yeah.
guard our equipment in Korea because like a firing point was beside a residential neighborhood,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. So, but yeah,
So
it's
you
mental
you've
health.
made we've got about 6 minutes left. What are you working on now? You have some exciting things that your book is the link still live where it's the
Yeah.
special, the pre-order? Do I need to pop that link back up? So that's one thing. And then it's going to go down and then come back live
On
October, right?
Halloween. Yeah, on Halloween.
And
So
what's the one of my friends, so Lex was with me in Saudi.
okay.
Hey Lex, he said Slicky Boys is what they're called.
Slicky
Slicky
boys.
Boys.
Yeah, that's what they call them,
So
Slicky boys.
what was the special thing about Halloween? What was the significance of that date?
So the Army gave me the 1st of October or the last of October, and I'm like, I'm a Halloween guy anyways because I'd rather celebrate Halloween than Christmas. Not the religious type thing, but I'm just a goofy, creepy. I got all kinds of little Halloween stuff here. Like I'm all decorated all year round. Like I'm a black cup guy. Like I'm very dark. So you can see the QR code is like orange and freaking black and
Right.
animated. So, but yeah. So I retired on the Army from 31 October 2008. So
That's
and I always
awesome.
like I dropped a broken mirror last year on Halloween. I had cryptic little pumpkin videos, countdown with pumpkins dropping slowly, and it would get faster and faster. And I do my own marketing. I've been scammed by so many marketers. There's so many scamming marketer people out there. I don't know if you know it or not. 22 people per minute get scammed by marketers online, hiding behind author profiles. Seriously,
Yeah.
marketing is the biggest thing in the world that is so overpriced. Like I've worked with some people who be like, "Oh, I'll create that video for $10, or I'll create that because I know you. We collab." And then you'll go and find somebody and be like, "Hey, I saw your video. I can make it better for $200."
Right.
Sorry, I'll do it
Yeah.
myself. So And I'm learning.
And going to those book fairs too. That's kind of a sketchy one as well. I didn't know that when I first published my book, and I went to a book fair up in New York City, and it was not what I thought it was going to be. I was really disappointed that I paid good money to participate for it to have been.
So I actually called out. So I'm with Brookside Press for my audiobook. So all 3 audiobooks will be available for Halloween. That's what's going to be really cool. But like the first project was like 3,000, and then they wanted another. I'm like, so to do a good recording is between 2,000 and 10,000, depending on who you have record for you.
Right.
Okay. But you can do it yourself if you have the equipment. But like you and I were talking, ACX is very picky. So they added 2,000 on top of that because the narrator wanted all that money for it.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So the second project, I paid 1,500. They added 1,000 to it. This project here that I'm working on, the narrator loved my stuff so much, he gave me like, I don't want to say a discount or the Halloween exclusive, but I only got that audiobook for $1,200.
Wow.
With the same narrator, because like I've used him so many times, and
Right.
he pushed project back to get my project out because he knows that I'm the real deal, and
Right.
I love having an Army veteran record my stuff for me and use my inflection of my voice. So, but what I was saying was, there's so many. Marketing is the biggest thing in the world. Like Super Bowl commercial, right? 30 seconds is $40 million.
Right.
That's the hugest scam in the world. And you got these celebrities that'll just call people out in a 40-second video. They just spent $40 million to call someone out or to say something about what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And we will never see that much money in our entire life. You know? Never.
Never.
And then you got these marketers that are like, I can do this project for like $2,000 with the this, and this. The email thing, to boost ratings and all that, or to boost sales, is a scam in itself. Come to the blacklist on Facebook group. I'm the only blacklist. I'll show you everybody who's been blacklisted. I call them I tell them, congratulations, you've been blacklisted. So come join, be part of the alumni group and be a blacklister. So, but yeah, I just believe, like I said, mental health is a life sentence without parole, and I've started a new hashtag. The living room is not a battlefield, people. The living room is not a battlefield. So.
And I think that's where us using our voice and talking about our pain to purpose stories is what's going to help change the narrative and give veterans a voice. Sorry. See, I told you. You probably could hear that was a loud car. But we got to give veterans a voice and know that, for one, they're not alone, and we can do better to help each other get through this thing called life, Is
it proven that 22 is now 44?
I don't know. I haven't seen a number change.
I've heard that, and I've heard that the mental health or the psychiatric care and the active side of the house is absolutely terrible. Like, we actually have to think about our active people too, because like we all talk for veterans, but this thing that happened, remember this thing that happened at Stewart just a couple weeks ago? I was at a campground in July, and I met a young staff sergeant, and he told me, Sarge, I appreciate everything that you're doing, but you have no clue what is going on the active side. So I was like, clue me in. He said in his unit,
all right,
they probably had so many whatchamacallits, and I'm like, well, you're part of that leadership. And he said,
we've got a hard stop. Welcome. Yep. You come back anytime, okay?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, Be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.